I'm Seevinck, an artist and a researcher and associate professor at QUT School of Design. I explore aesthetic experiences by creating interactive artworks guided by scientific understandings and poetic interpretations of the world. And I work to use the medium of digital technology in a way that engages with it directly, more than as a vehicle for other content, more than as a digitized version of traditional media. I try to play and create within the digital medium. Data is a big part of this. Artistic data visualization is a very interesting space for leveraging scientific understandings, such as the data that's collected about the world, sampling and representing it, and then using this as a medium for creative expression, to interpret it in new poetic ways. I've been a visiting scientist at the CSIRO, an Australian research organisation, to explore just this through being able to work with scientists and understand different data sets. And I participated in an artist residency with Queensland Government scientists and engineers at their Coastal Impacts Unit. There they work with sea data, monitoring ocean waves to track wave height, wind speed, water temperature and so on for different locations around Queensland. During this residency, I created the artistic data visualization and interactive artwork, Ruby Corrents. And here the imagery projected on the sand moves and changes to reflect the changes in the data from the sea. The artwork was made for Brisbane. It is site-specific because it is bringing local data into the gallery space. It brings the outside place inside, merging outside and inside and making the hybrid digital physical space tangible. Because as you manipulate the sand interface, you're touching that place, touching the sand and changing the visualization of that place's weather data. So I'm really playing with the gestures of interaction, the possibilities there, as well as how this relates to the data and the place, layering all of this together. It's important to me that all these aspects relate meaningfully, conceptually. So when I make a work, I begin by finding a conceptual framework, rationale, or aesthetic logic for the project. This guides my creative decisions for the visual forms, interface materiality, interactive behaviors, and so on. This interpretive frame is sometimes a metaphor or an analogy. Usually I begin with a physical place or a site, which I study, photograph and draw to get to know and find my own new poetic interpretations of. And so I end up making the work for that site or as a response to it. And I work a lot with landscapes. In Ruby Corrents, where I'm working with coastal places and with the dance of the light on the water at the coast really impacted on my thinking about the place, I then created the slippery red triangles as a visual nod to that light dance. And that augmented reality imagery is how I visualize the coastal data, through its speed and direction. It's how I bring the data and the outside coastal weather conditions into the gallery space to create a new hybrid place, a mix of coastal and interior, data and real spaces to make a new hybrid place. This is also known in design research as hybrid space or hybrid place. And it's all around us because of Wi-Fi networks and mobile phones. But these networks are also changing the everyday places through that layer of data. In Ruby Corrents and some other works as well, I've been exploring data and interactive art to make new hybrid aesthetic spaces or new types of places for art. So I also do research into interactive art. It's something that guides my practice and research, what I write and publish about. For example, I'm really interested and excited when new and unexpected emergent things happen in interactive art. Like when something unexpected happens while you're making the work and it leads you to a new way of seeing it. Or when audiences interact with my artwork and have new and different understandings of it, maybe make up games and play with it, acting in ways I didn't anticipate. Or when there is a new insight or discovery in a data set that you didn't know about when you started out, like the huge wave in 2006 that I found while researching and making Ruby Corrents. So you can see that massive wave. The digital medium has so much potential for new explorations of its form and meaning. Artists today have the opportunity to create new types of work, integrally different to traditional media art. They are exploring new aesthetic dimensions and are growing and in fact establishing this area of interactive art.